Hello everybody, this is Frankie from Bosque Mobile Bicycle Repair. Today I'm going to be showing you the tools that I bring with me while riding a bicycle so I don't get stranded out on the trails if I get a flat tire or some other mechanical issue occurs. I'm going to get right into it. Pretty basic. Carry a pump, a portable pump, multi-tool, inner tube for any emergency repairs. Okay, let's get a close-up shot of the tools now. So this pump right here is a really good pump. It's made by the brand Topeak, and it's a I love this style. Now, Topeak is not the only brand that makes this type of style of pump, but it is it's very easy to pump up your tires with, especially if you have a high pressure, high PSI tire, a tire that has a lot of pressure, like for example 100 PSI. That's usually a road tire, but this is the Topeak pump right here. It's foldable, and it extends out the pump handle. So yeah, it's really good. Let me measure. I'm going to show you the measurements when it's folded up. Now I know a lot of people don't like to carry pumps. They want to carry like a little electric pump or those little CO2 cartridges, and I'm going to explain at the end of the video why I don't recommend that. So the length of this pump is, when it's folded, is about 13 inches, 3¼ inches. And for everywhere else in the world, I don't have a CM reading on this one. Sorry about that. But I think it's, the cool thing about this is it has like this foldable kind of hose on it. And it actually has a little pressure gauge on it. Now, I wouldn't rely on this to be extremely accurate, but it gets you in the ballpark range. Can we zoom in on this little dial right here, so they can see it? Let me see if I can configure it. So yeah, and it's in I think it's in bar and PSI, so that's pretty cool. This is this pump head right here, it's really nice. You can do Presta and Schrader, pump up Presta and Schrader tubes with this, but I think right now it's set for Presta. Yeah, as you can see, it's set for Presta. In order to make it compatible with Schrader, you have to reconfigure the seal inside of it. Let me get a little pick. Hold on one moment. Let's see if we can it is a little difficult to get out of there, but of course you want to do this before you head out on the trail. I'll get a needle nose pliers. A lot of people don't know that when they buy these pumps that you have to switch out the little parts and pieces in the pump head. So as you can see, the seal right here. And so I'm gonna put this, reconfigure this. So yeah, it's like kind of like that right there. Yep, that's how you do it. So, and now you can see the diameter of the, I got a little light, I can shine a light in there. Oh, let's see. As you can see, the diameter of the seal now is a lot larger, and that can fit a Schrader. Let me see, I have a little tool right here. So this is about the same diameter as a Schrader. This is the same diameter as a Schrader valve. And so I'm gonna put that in there. So as you can see, it can fit in there. This is a Schrader to Presta adapter. It's a good idea to carry this if you're riding around with a Presta valve, because a lot of you know, maybe you have a pump that's for a Schrader only, or you don't have a pump at all and you want to use your friends. So this little adapter can come in very handy. This is something that you should carry with you, you know, if you're riding around with Presta valve tubes. So that's how you switch out the little seal on this pump head. Like I said, a lot of other brands have the same type of procedure with their pump heads. So, you know, do that. This little lever right here, when you lift it up, it compresses the seal onto the valve, so making an airtight seal. And so also with this pump head, it can extend from this tube. So it's very cool. It's very it compacts very nice, and I believe they sell repair parts for this pump because it's a quality pump. Okay, can we zoom out of the close-up shot a little bit more right here? Let's do it a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the total length of the pump when it is extended. So that's a very long. That's very long, which is good because that way you can get more air in your tire with each pump. So the length of this in imperial measurement is 22.5 inches. 22.5 inches, or 1 foot 10 inches. Okay, so we got that. Yeah, that's pretty good. With the tube, actually, I'm going to measure the tube now. So with the pump body kind of extended off, I'm going to measure this tube. It's about, I'd say, about 10.5 inches. 10.5 inches for this tube right here. I know all the imperial people, I mean all the metric people are going to be upset with me. Also, it has this little lever right here, and I'm going to demonstrate how to use this pump later on in the video. But you put your foot here to stabilize the pump, and then you engage this onto the valve. So you're holding the pump steady with your foot, and then you just, of course, use your hand to pump up the tire. So the other hand to pump. This setup is really good with high pressure tires and also high volume tires. Pumps are more reliable because you know, manual pumps are reliable because they don't. As long as you got energy to pump, you'll never run out of air, like a CO2 cartridge. If you're carrying around those little battery-powered pumps, like, you know, sometimes they're about the size of this, or they could be smaller than this. You know, batteries can run out, and a lot of times people don't remember to charge their batteries. If you're in extreme conditions like heat or cold weather, the battery dies quicker. So anybody who carries around portable electronics knows that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the tools, the little tool bag right here that I carry around with me on my trips for riding around on the trails. So this is like a little Cordura bag. You know, it's very tough material, kind of like a backpack type material. Polyester, nylon. You know, it's a little zipper bag. Keeps all my tools in there. And I put this in my backpack. And the reason why I put all the tools in here is because I don't want them floating around or getting lost everywhere. Plus the tools are sharp, so I don't want them puncturing my backpack or anything that's in my backpack, you know, if there's pressure applied. So it's got to go through this before I can puncture my backpack. So, and I have a waterproof backpack, so I don't want any holes in it. But yeah, I'm going to be taking out the little tools that I have in here. And also I got bicycle lights. This is from, that light is from Night Rider. This is rear lights from Night Rider. This rear lights from the brand Serfas. But I like Night Rider better. It's pretty pretty good. So I got these tools right here. And yeah. Tire patch. And then my business card. So gotta plug the YouTube channel. But yeah, it's not a lot of tools and equipment that I carry with me on a bicycle ride. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. This tool right here is made by Bike Hand, and I've had it for a long time. It comes with this little adapter right here, or for a this is like a 1/4-inch drive right here for the little socket. It's like a little socket, and this is a 8mm hex key. Our slang term is Allen key. This predominantly has Allen keys on it because most bikes, that's what they, use for the bolt heads. It also has a, let's get a close-up shot of this, real good. Close-up shot. Yeah, that's a good shot. Has a bottle opener. I don't know why. I don't condone drinking and riding your bicycle, but yeah, I don't like the bottle opener thing. All multi-tools kind of have that on there. So this is like this is a 6mm hex key. Got a, which one is it? This is a 4mm. Got a 4mm right here. Got a T25. That's pretty common on bicycles, like newer ones, or I don't really like Torx bits. This is a Phillips number 2, really common. Bolt-on derailleurs, the high and low limit screws on derailleurs, all used most of the time is a Phillips. Some of them have a hex key, but those are the weird other brands. This is I think it's like a 3mm hex key. Where's the 5mm? There should be a 5mm on here. 3mm. They got I think a 2 and a 2.5mm hex key right here. Let me see. I think this is supposed to be like a tire lever. I would not use this. I don't recommend using a metal tire lever unless it's extremely difficult. Well, especially if it's not this small, you're gonna puncture something. But try to use plastic. And it has these little bolt. You could for 10, 9, and 8mm bolts. This did have a 15mm. I broke it, but I wouldn't expect this thing to hold up to high torque anyways. I probably over torqued it, and broke it. But this did come with a chain breaker tool. You kind of thread it on here, but I took it off because I never have chain issues. I guess because I'm a mechanic, but I make sure to check my chain, and it's it's kind of, I don't know why people break their chains all the time. Well, I do know why, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, shift properly, clean your chain, and if it's stretched, replace it. But I don't ever have any chain issues on the trail, and if you do that, you won't never need a chain breaker tool out on the trail. But yeah, they do make chain breakers that are very small. I do not, like I said, I don't carry them on the trail. I used to in my tool bag, but I never had any chain issues. Like I said, this is from the brand Bike Hand. I also recommend multi-tools from Jenson USA. Their Jenson USA brand, it's called, I can't remember the name of it, but Jenson USA is an online retailer of bicycle products. Their brand of tools is called Foundation. So they make, their Foundation tool brand is very affordable. They make multi-tools for a reasonable price. And yeah, I recommend them. I thought this was a Foundation tool, but it wasn't. But a lot of the different bicycle brands, they all come from the same, most of the time they come from the same manufacturers in China. So you'll see Foundation brand bicycle tools that look very similar, or sometimes they are the same as Bike Hand because they come from the same manufacturers in China. Okay, now I'm going to show you these. I'll carry around a tire lever with me out on the trails. This one's made by Pedros. It's pretty good. It's very thick, hard, durable plastic. The only thing I do not like about this tire lever is this square type of shape of the tire lever. I prefer a more rounded one like this. This one's made by Bontrager. I don't really like the brand Bontrager, but these tire levers, I really do like them. So I buy them. It's very, very thick plastic. You know, the material thickness is very good. And these are very durable. I have broken this before, but I put an extreme amount of pressure on it, and I was installing the brand Schwalbe tire on a rim, but it was the model Marathon Plus. And if anybody knows about that tire, it's extremely difficult to put on at times. Another tool that I like, this one's made by Pedros right here, and it's called Trixie. This is really cool. I really love this tool. I don't ride fixed gear anymore or single speed, but I do like this tool. It's made by Pedros, like I said. Pedros, they're a reputable brand. Some of their stuff is really expensive, you know. But I mainly use, the only reason I use this tool is because of this right here. So this is the 15 millimeter bolt remover. You know, this goes onto a 15 millimeter nut right here. Like I said, I broke this one, this multi-tool, the 15 millimeter on this one, because it can't take a high torque load, so I can't tighten my bolts that much. And if you're riding around fixed gear, you got to tighten your rear axle bolt really tight. So that's why I bought this one, and it's steel, made of steel. It's really thick gauge. Actually, I do have my ruler right here. Ironically, I got this, so I'm gonna measure this. That way, you know how durable, tough this tool is. Let's say it's about 6 millimeter thickness. 6 millimeter thickness. Yeah, let me see. Actually, no, it's not a 6 millimeter. Sorry. Say it's about 5.5 millimeter thick. 5.5 millimeter or 5 millimeters thick. Yeah, 5 millimeters. Sorry, it's trying to look at the camera and measure at the same time. But that's about 1/8 inch thick steel, cut out of 1/8 inch steel. I like it. It does also have a little hex key adapter right here. It's on rubber. Like I said, I never use this because it'll be really cumbersome to use. But put one in here, and you kind of, you know, engage the little. But you got to be. It's very cumbersome to use this, or difficult, without it falling apart. Are you focusing in on there? Right there. See, there you go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And has a little. So like I said, it fits in there. And then I think it could fit in vice versa too. Yeah, that's probably like a 4 millimeter. Yeah, probably about a 4 mil. I think it is. Let's see. Could double check that. Actually, I think it's a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. This is a 5, and this is a 4. It's probably a 4 or 3. But yeah, you got to always have a 5 millimeter hex key on you. because that is the most common hex key size on a bicycle. This is a boot, a tire boot from Park Tool. I just cut it in half because if you get a gash bigger than this, probably you're gonna want to walk your bicycle home. So this is for putting it on the inside of the tire. If you get a gash or a slash cut open on the sidewall of your tire, the old school way to solve that issue is to use a dollar bill or some bill and put it inside of your tire. That way the tube doesn't pop out of the sidewall of your tire and pop. Yeah, pretty cool. Very durable. It's an adhesive patch, like a thick plastic, but it's been in my bag for so long, I don't think the adhesive would work on it. I've never had to use it. I always buy quality puncture resistant tires, so that are very durable. And if you want to know which tires that I use and recommend, check out my YouTube channel. There's a video on there, my most watched video. These are my lights right here. My main bicycle lights. This is the Night Rider front headlight. Really cool. There's a lot of features I love about this light. It is 650 lumens. Their models are named by numbers, and the numbers correspond with how many lumens the output is. Lumens is the measure of brightness that is emitted. I think it stands for, you have lumens and you have candelabra, but we mainly use lumens in America. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Really good light. The thing I love most about this is that the lens is recessed into the body just enough to protect it. So I'm measuring it right now. It's about 3 millimeters recessed from the bottom and the sides, but the top has a very like a hood cover, I guess, maybe, so the light doesn't come up and hit you in the eyes while you're riding. But this is like a really good feature, because I've dropped this light, not this one particularly, but my other ones, because I have multiple versions of this. I've dropped it a lot, and this is chipped off, but I haven't cracked the lens. And you'll notice that with a lot of bicycle lights, it's not recessed. It doesn't have anything protecting the lens. So if you drop it or you crash on your bike, you're cracking that lens. And I've seen really expensive lights that don't have this feature. And so then all of a sudden you got to mail it in to get a warranty or repair, or maybe it's not under warranty or they don't have a warranty. But the body of this light is extremely durable plastic. This is the little charging port right here. It is I don't know what type of USB, I forget the name of it. But anyways, it's just a little rubber thing right here that protects it. I wish they would make that a better design, more long-lasting design, durable. But yeah, you can get these. They do come with a warranty. And if your battery died, like if it doesn't hold the charge as much no more, you can mail it in and they'll service it. But yeah, pretty good. The clamping mechanism on the handlebars is very durable. It's not like those elastic strap type deals. They do sell lights like that, but this one is not one of them. I don't have the handlebar clamp on me to show you. This is the rear light. This is pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. Got it focused in there. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I've dropped this one a ton. As you can see, it's like cracked up. Actually dropped it and I broke this little piece right here, this little clip. And they sent me a bunch of these because I told them I broke it. This is, I can't even read the writing on it no more. Solace something. I don't know how many lumens this one is, but it's really bright. The reason why I like this is because this clip right here. I just clip it onto my backpack. I never use the seat post rear lights, like the mounting device for the seat post, because I usually keep a saddle bag on my seat post. So what I do is I just hook this on my backpack, and it emits lights. And that way I don't have to worry about removing it when I park my bike and somebody stealing the light. This has a little charging port right here, as you can see. So these are all rechargeable. You don't have those, you know, AA or AAAs. Those ones are really cheap. These ones are really nice. So yeah. Oh, the next tool I want to talk about is this one I found. I haven't tested it out yet, but I want to. Let's get a close up of this. Close up. But I want to talk about it because I think this one is really, really good design, and it's made by Bell. And I know a lot of people don't like this brand. You know, some of the stuff they make is not really good quality, but their tools, their multi-tools, I've tested them out. They're really good quality. I used to have a Bell like multi-tool like this, and it was really good. It was similar to like that Alien design. I forget from that one. I forgot what brand made that one. I think Topeak, the Topeak's Alien, it was kind of similar to that. But this is a really cool design. So if I lose my other bag, which I don't, you know, knock on wood, you know, but this one's really cool. I'm gonna show you why. So it's got a case and the lock, and this hex key locks it closed, and then you can open it right here. So as you can see, this hex key is not meant for the bicycle. It's a 1/4 inch. The end of this is a 1/4 inch, so it's a 1/4 inch drive. Use it for like the drive part. And let me show you. So it has this socket with the 1/4 inch drive. As you can see, 1/4 inch on there. And then you insert the bits that are metric, because bicycles use metric parts. I got gloves on, so that's why it's difficult. So all these bits have a 1/4 inch drive, and it's magnetic. As you can watch this, it's magnetic. This drive, see that? You hear that's cool. That way it doesn't fall out and you lose it in the grass or the weeds when you get a flat tire on your bicycle. This is really cool. It's really compact and efficient. It's got its case. It's not going to puncture your backpack. Has a 6mm bit, 5mm, 4mm, 3mm, 2.5mm hex key right here, and it even has a Torx bit. Some people call that a star bit. This is a T25 star bit, the most common size on a bicycle. A lot of mountain bikes have it, newer mountain bikes. It's got a Phillips, it's got a flathead. Got a Phillips bit, that was my bad. That was a flathead bit I just showed you. This is the Phillips bit, and this is the number 2, most common on a bicycle. As you can see, they all go in there. That's pretty cool. Now the thing that's cheap in this toolkit that I wouldn't rely on is the tire levers. The tire levers right here. As you could tell, I could tell these things are cheap. I've used Bell tire levers and busted them and broke them before. Yeah, these are very thin plastic. But like, even if I did carry this toolkit with me, I would carry the Pedros and or the Bontrager tire lever. So yeah, I would not rely on these tire levers. That's the only thing about this kit I don't really like. Also, well, there's another thing I don't like about it. Patches. It comes with patches. It's behind the, actually locks, this locks into place in the case. That's what I like about it. Kind of locks. Can we zoom in on? Let's zoom out a little bit, please. Right there. That's good. Yeah, the patches kind of stay behind the wrench. The wrench pops out. That's really cool. And it has a it's meant for the bolts on there, 14 millimeter, 8 millimeter, 10 millimeter, and a 15 millimeter. I wouldn't use the 15 millimeter on this tool. That's kind of like, you know, that's for the rear, that's for the axles. If your wheels have an axle, threaded axle, that use nuts to tighten the wheel onto the bicycle frame. I wouldn't use this tool to tighten it, but I would carry around like the Pedros tool or a 15 millimeter wrench, you know, because this is you're gonna have to buy this online or have the bike shop order it. So a quicker solution would just to buy a 15 millimeter wrench. If you want to make it lighter, try to hacksaw this off. It will take a long time because this steel is very very durable. So but yeah, this is really cool. It has a bottle opener on it. Everything has a bottle. It's pretty bad. This also does has little cutouts for spoke nipples to tighten your spoke nipples, but it would take you forever to true a wheel with this tool. So if you had like one loose spoke that was giving you a problem, you could tighten it up. But yeah, I wouldn't use it. Patches, I don't recommend patches. These are the ones without the rubber cement adhesive. I don't like. If I was going to use patches, I would use the ones with the separate tube with rubber cement. Yeah, I wouldn't trust like these patches at all. Park Tool makes patches like, you know, that are just like sticky, like you just stick them on. But I don't like those ones. Those ones have failed me plenty of times. I just recommend bringing a tube along with no punctures. This one actually I think I patched up, but I know I did a good patch job on it. But I just carry a spare tube with me because I don't want to, you know, waste my time on the side of the trail trying to patch a tube, you know, because you're in a dirty environment, your hands may not be clean. In order for the adhesive to stick onto the tube, the tube has to be clean, you know. And you can carry around a little isopropyl alcohol swab, but I don't know. I just if you want to get out of there fast, just bring a tube along. I know it's heavy and it's bulky. This is for a 26-inch tire, but you know, I just bring it. I'll just bring a tube, but I don't really get flats that much, so because I got good tires. But yeah, but I'm going to show you another tool that can help you prevent any issues before you ride. This is the Topeak tire pressure gauge. You can use it for Presta and Schrader valves. This little switch right here will switch it from Presta to Schrader easily, instead of having to take the inner part, anything apart and reconfiguring it. You just do that little switch right here. So right now it's on for Presta valves. Over here it would be for Schrader. And this, you should always, so what I'm trying to tell you is always check your tire pressure before you go out on a ride. I don't recommend you carry this with you out on the trail, but just always check your tire pressure before you leave. Pump up your tires to the correct amount of pressure. But I'm guilty of of not checking my tire pressure. So I'll be honest. Sometimes I'll just get on my bicycle and look at the tires to see if they're, you know, squishing more than usual. But this is really cool. This has a little pressure release. So if you can, maybe you're a little over the amount of pressure, you can just hit this and release some air. But I wouldn't use that if you have slime in your inner tubes. You can change it from different units of pressure. Right now it's on PSI. You could change it to, now it's bar. Now it's, what is it? Kilograms, or cm. I didn't know that was a unit of pressure. I thought kPa, kilopascal, isn't one. I know you guys in Canada and Australia use it, but let me see. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And this little head swivel, so you can just, if you need to get in tight spaces, boom. So pretty good. But if you don't have a dedicated pressure gauge, you can always use a bicycle pump. Let's get a wide shot, please. You can always use a bicycle pump with a pressure gauge. As you can see, all you got to do is engage the pump head and do maybe one good pump, and then check the pressure reading on the pressure gauge. This bicycle pump is from the brand Serfas. It is the Tier 3 Air Force pump. I really like it because the pressure gauge is up high, not on the base of the bicycle pump. Let's get a wider shot, please. There we go. Yeah, it's not on the base, so you're not having to look down really far when using this pump, but it's really affordable. It's not crazy expensive, but you get what you pay for when you buy this. Made out of a steel body. But anyways, that's we're going to go now to using the Topeak pump. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use the Topeak portable pump. So it's very foldable, compact. As you can see, I unhooked the hose from the body, and now I'm going to unscrew the pump handle. And this is the very important part right here. This is the little foot lever, foot stabilizer. This is key to making you pump up your tire a whole lot easier. Trust me. So I'm going to position this valve right here. I'm taking off the plastic valve cap. Let's get a close, close up right here. And so taking off this little cap. Now, if you don't put this cap back on, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to lose air, but I'm just letting you know, because some people think if you don't put this cap back on, you know, air is just going to come gushing out of that valve. So this is a Schrader valve. I'm going to be demonstrating this pump with a Schrader valve. Okay, so now I'm going to put my foot on this little, well, actually I'm going to put the pump head onto the Schrader valve. Do we got a good shot? Got a good shot, okay. So I'm going to push it on there till I start hearing air. I'm going to lift up the lever. Let's see here. Okay. This is why it's good to have a flexible hose. Let's see. Maybe I should engage it more. Some air is leaking out a little bit. It shouldn't be, but maybe let me tighten this seal here. Hold on one moment. I actually know I know what the issue is. I didn't tighten this pump head, the seal on there. Okay, now I'm gonna re-engage it. Let me try to hold this steady for you guys. Okay, put it on there. Lift this lever to close the seal firmly on the valve. Gonna place my foot on the, can we get a shot of this? Yeah, okay. So you can see it. So yeah, I'm gonna put my foot on that little stabilizer, and now I'm gonna start pumping up. if it's really difficult to pump up the tire, you might need to push down the pump head more to engage the what is it, valve core. There we go. I had to say this slowly. So it's gonna push down more further on it, more firmly on it. Lift the lever. Okay. I think that should be good. Yep, that's way better. Now it's way more easier to pump. Sometimes if you don't put that pump head down there over the valve enough, it's not gonna open up the valve as much. You have to engage that valve core. So with the close-up shot, you can see this little gauge, pressure gauge on there. So you can see it moving. Yep, that's good. That's a good shot. So this isn't going to be extremely accurate. It's just going to get you in a ballpark range, an estimated range of pressure. But yeah, I'm at 30 psi right now. I'll switch over to another foot. Okay. It's gonna take some time. If you have a really tiny pump, you need to be a bodybuilder in order to pump up your tire with those type of pumps, because it'll be way more difficult. The smaller the pump, the more difficult it is to pump up your tires, especially if it has a high pressure rating. So right now I'm above 30. I'm at 40 psi according to this gauge. It's a very primitive, style. Okay, now how close can we get with that camera to this gauge? Let's see how close we can get. There we go. As you can see, it's between 30 and 60 psi. That is between those two blocks, so I'm guessing it's at 50 psi. This tire right here goes up to 50 psi. Actually goes higher than 50 psi, but I keep it at 50. Okay, go ahead and zoom out. So now, actually, can you zoom in again? Sorry about that. So now, in order for me to release the pump head, I'm going to release the seal. That made the seal from going like this onto the valve, wider diameter. Now I'm going to take off the pump head. Now when you're putting on this pump head, don't jerk side to side the valve. Only go up and down, or twisting it, kind of little rotating it, then removing it upwards. If you push too hard side to side, then you're gonna damage the valve and possibly get a flat. That's especially true with a press to valve. So the press to valves are very delicate. Schrader valves can take a lot more abuse. Okay, now I'm gonna put on the cap, plastic cap, because you don't want no dirt getting in there. Okay. So thank you for watching my video on the tools that I recommend for you to carry on your bicycle ride to repair to make any emergency repairs. So like I said, I recommend using a manual portable pump. I don't recommend relying on the CO2 cartridges. Most people who have those in their bags don't even know how to use them, and you have only one shot to get use it correctly. And I don't like them. There's a possibility of overinflating your tire. That is more prevalent with those skinny road tires, for example, 700 by 28C. I'm guilty of popping my tire because I used that CO2 cartridge and overinflated it. You have to be very careful when using them. I know it's more compact, it's more lightweight, but if you don't want to walk your bicycle home, and you may be riding miles away from home, like myself, I like to ride, 15, 20 miles away from home and then come back. That's for a long ride. But I like an old-fashioned manual, reliable pump. Now I know the electric pumps are becoming very popular. I have electric pumps, but I use them they're more bigger, they're more for my repair business and at-home use. But I know they're making like little smaller ones. Those will work, but don't forget to charge them before you leave home. And I know that most people are going to forget that. And also take into consideration the smaller that they are, the smaller the battery is. So therefore, you may have only enough energy or battery power to pump up your tube one time, or maybe if you have two flats, you may have only enough energy to pump up those two flats. But if you have a fast leak and you pump up your tire and you only have enough energy to pump up that one tire, it's not going to get you all the way home. But with a manual pump, it doesn't run out of battery power. You are the battery power. I mean, you may be tired, but you can still, most of the time, most people are going to have enough energy to pump up that tire again. So that's why I like just the good old-fashioned manual pump. I know it's a pain to carry around, but it's worth it. Anyways, I'm Frankie from Bosque Mobile Bicycle Repair. Check out my website, www.bosquemobilebicyclerepair.com. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Blue Sky, Mastodon, on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, Internet Archive, you name it, I'm on there. So I got over 150 videos, educational videos, product reviews, trail reviews. Check them out. But yeah, I'm not sponsored by any of the brands here that I talked about at the time of this recording. I don't know, maybe in the future, but I'm just letting you know. This is full disclosure, but these are the tools and brands I recommend. But anyways, thank you very much for watching my video. Have a safe ride, everybody. So thank you for watching my video on the tools that I recommend for you to carry on your bicycle ride to repair any to make any emergency repairs. So like I said, I recommend using a manual portable pump. I don't recommend relying on the CO2 cartridges. Most people who have those in their bags don't even know how to use them, and you have only one shot to get use it correctly. And I just don't like them. There's a possibility of overinflating your tire. That is more prevalent with those skinny road tires, for example 700 by 28C. I'm guilty of popping my tire because I used that CO2 cartridge and overinflated it. You have to be very careful when using them. I know it's more compact, it's more lightweight, but if you don't want to walk your bicycle home, and you may be riding miles away from home, like myself, I like to ride, 15, 20 miles away from home and then come back. That's for a long ride. But I like an old-fashioned manual, reliable pump. Now I know the electric pumps are becoming very popular. I have electric pumps, but I use them they're more bigger, they're more for my repair business and at-home use. But I know they're making like little smaller ones. Those will work, but don't forget to charge them before you leave home. And I know that most people are going to forget that. And also take into consideration, the smaller that they are, the smaller the battery is. So therefore, you may have only enough energy or battery power to pump up your tube one time, or maybe if you have two flats, you may have only enough energy to pump up those two flats. But if you have a fast leak and you pump up your tire and you only have enough energy to pump up that one tire, it's not going to get you all the way home. But with a manual pump, it doesn't run out of battery power. You are the battery power. I mean, you may be tired, but you can still, most of the time, most people are going to have enough energy to pump up that tire again. So that's why I like just a good old-fashioned manual pump. I know it's a pain to carry around, but it's worth it. Anyways, I'm Frankie from Bosque Mobile Bicycle Repair. Check out my website, www.bosquemobilebicyclerepair.com. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Blue Sky, Mastodon, on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, Internet Archive, you name it, I'm on there. So I got over 150 videos, educational videos, product reviews, trail reviews. Check them out. But yeah, I'm not sponsored by any of the brands here that I talked about at the time of this recording. I don't know, maybe in the future, but I'm just letting you know. This is full disclosure, but these are the tools and brands I recommend. But anyways, thank you very much for watching my video. Have a safe ride, everybody.